Okay, let's talk about your mind, your brain, because this is the first part of the journey in respects to consciously reclaiming your power. Now, you have your subconscious mind and you have your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is essentially what you consciously know, what you consciously think, and your subconscious mind is the thoughts and the beliefs and essentially the way of being that has been adopted through your own life experience and conditioning and training, as well as inheritance from your ancestral line. Now, your conscious mind are the thoughts that you notice that are going through your mind every single day, and we get to really start to shift the way that we think consciously by changing the thoughts that we think. There's a saying, thoughts become things. Now, thoughts become things because they become feelings, which are ultimately our emotions, which add to our vibration and our magnetic field. And that's why it becomes things, because the way that we feel and the way that we vibrate affect the way in which we choose to be, the things in which we choose to do, as well as the people and opportunities and situations that we attract into our field because of our vibrational frequency. Now, the way in which we think and also subconsciously think is what affects our vibrational frequency. So as much as it's really, really important that we rewire the neuro pathways of our mind on a conscious effort when it comes to catching ourselves out when we're thinking negatively, as well as incorporating an array of different tips and tricks and tools such as affirmations and mirror talk and music. There's various different things that you can add into the mix. Gratitude. I go into this in much more detail within the Growth Shift community in Rise Up University. I have a whole section on the mind, as well as within Magnetizing Magic, there's a section in respects to reprogramming your subconscious and all of that all of that good stuff. But essentially, the conscious reprogramming of our mind is first and foremost really important, and it's something that we really get to be aware of when we notice certain thought patterns and things that come up during the day, and that we catch ourselves out, and that we flip and change it when we catch ourselves out with love, with compassion, with understanding. We do not shame ourselves. We never shame ourselves. We never judge ourselves. This is not an effective way to grow and evolve and expand and ascend. No, we love ourselves into growth, and we're compassionate with ourselves, because essentially as we grow and as we move towards our next level way of being, our old self tries to hold on, and that's okay. Why would it not want to hold on? This life is amazing. So we get to be compassionate with the old parts of ourselves that we are essentially letting go of and killing. And we get to love ourselves into growth, and we get to say thank you for trying to hold on. However, we're moving in a different direction, and they're not needed there, right? Now, when it comes to reprogramming our subconscious, this is a different story. Now, our subconscious is more malleable in the morning and at night. So it's really important for us to incorporate practices within our morning and our evening before we go to bed, and also while we sleep, to ensure that we are reprogramming our subconscious mind. So we can write our goals, our declarations, our vision in the morning and in the evening before we go to bed. I personally have a subconscious reprogramming audio that I've created, which says an array of different affirmations that I'm focusing on for myself and my growth and my ascension and my expansion. Some people create their vision, so they write their vision and then they add that to the subconscious reprogramming audio, and they listen to it throughout the time in which they sleep. So yeah, music is also a great way to reprogram your subconscious. And this is why it's really important to be very aware of the music that you're listening to. Typically the music in the mainstream is not good for you, and there's a reason for that. So we must be very aware of the words that we're listening to when it comes to the music that we're listening to. So there's so much high vibe healing and medicine music that we can listen to really support the reprogramming of our subconscious mind. And our subconscious is the most important part of us to reprogram. Both of them are really important to reprogram. However, it's our subconscious that actually dictates our way of being much more than what our conscious mind does. So essentially it dictates the way we show up, it dictates our drive, it dictates our beliefs. So we must really be on top of the reprogramming of our subconscious and continue to do it through every level, through every devil, through every level up, and to not get complacent and think, oh, I've reached the next target, I'm not going to do it anymore. No, you still continue to do it. It's just at a different level, right? So yeah, that's your conscious and your subconscious mind. And you may hear me talk about moving through life consciously and unconsciously. The majority of people are moving through life unconsciously in respects to they're not being very aware of how their conscious mind and their subconscious mind is affecting their reality. They're just moving on repeat, and they're not really thinking about how their actions and their way of being is affecting and ultimately creating their life. And this is about 85% of the population. Now, when we're moving through life in a conscious way, we're very aware of the way our thinking, the things that we're saying, the way that we're being, the people that we're surrounding ourselves with, the conversations that we're having, the things that we're consuming, the way our environment is, everything. We're very conscious as to how it's affecting us. The water that we're drinking, the food that we're eating, all of the things, right? So this is what it's about when I say that we are living consciously, is that we're aware of how things and people and food and all of that is affecting us. Living unconsciously is when we're not aware of how, or that we don't care. Most of the time it's that people just generally don't care. I know that was the case for me when I was living unconsciously. I didn't care what I was putting in my body. I didn't care what I was listening to, what I was drinking, what I was eating. I just didn't care because I didn't realize the power that I had within me in the creation of my reality. So I was just like, this is just the way life is, fuck it, I'm just going to do whatever I want to do, and not really thinking about it, which ultimately negatively affected my reality. So this is what living consciously and unconsciously is about. The reason why the majority of people are not living their lives the way in which they desire is because they're living unconsciously, and they're not taking into account as to how powerful they are in the creation of their reality when it comes to the thoughts that they think, things that they say, choices that they make, the way they desire to be, their energy, most importantly, and all of that stuff, really. So there's conscious mind, subconscious mind, living consciously and unconsciously. If you do have any questions, please feel free to pop a comment and ask any questions. If you have anything that you want to add to the conversation, please add, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.